Hey, Better Babes. Welcome back to Getting Better. This episode is a celebration and a look back on Queer Eye. Queer Eye's 10th and final season, in this iteration at least, is coming out this week. And I have been saying that, and let's just get that elephant out of the bag, or cat out of the bag right now. I do think at this point in time in 2026, it is such an unfortunate time for Queer Eye to come to an end. And I really do wish that Netflix or a different network, and I do know that David Collins, the creator of Queer Eye, who I love, admire, and respect so much, I do think that he has the rights to the show. So hopefully this could happen. But I do believe that, I'm so grateful for the opportunity of what we got to do on Queer Eye. I've loved it. I would love to continue to do it in some way. But I do think that there's a sustainability issue at play. When you have 5 adults moving from city to city to city for 4 months at a time over 8 years, it does become really hard to manage. And it can become really stressful. And so what I've been advocating for behind the scenes is a little El Menudo, or the Voice approach, where the Fab Five could be interchangeable. You could go to the OG Fab Five. There's also Fab Fives from all over the world. There's also young queer people who could use an opportunity and use this platform. And I just think, let's be more sustainable and bring more people in and let other people have a moment. I think that could be so cool. And I do think at this point in time, we need these stories and we need these examples of togetherness so intensely. The message of Queer Eye and what it does, it's changed my life. I love it so much. And I also wish that I could keep doing it. But I also think after almost doing it for 10 years, my body and my mind and my heart, my soul, does need a moment of pause and reflection and to figure out what brings me joy and what makes me happy, because I've almost done 100 episodes of this show. And I think that so much of my life has developed and changed in the course of filming Queer Eye. And when I look back on 2017 me that filmed season 1 and 2 of Queer Eye in Atlanta, and I look back, I am overwhelmed with joy and gratitude and just experience. I truly am in awe of what the 6 of us have accomplished. And as I think the original Fab Five, or at least of this rebooted version, we navigated so much intensity and so much behind the scenes. And we came through that alive, intact, and we all built careers that we should be proud of. And I'm just really proud of us. And I think that no one will really ever understand exactly the dynamics and exactly what we are going through besides the 5 of us. And that's something that I honor and I cherish. And I love Jeremiah so much. I love all of the experiences that all 6 of us have had together. That being said, love can be messy, and love doesn't mean that it was always easy and it was always perfect. But when I look back on it, I am really in awe of the impact that we made and how we were able to navigate what we navigated. So with that being said, we're bringing in 3 heroes over the course of Queer Eye, which I think heroes really are the people that made, even more than the Fab Five, made this show possible, because our heroes have to give so much vulnerability. They really have to put their stuff out there, and vulnerability is not easy. So we have 3 heroes who are so near and dear to my heart. So we're gonna have 3 heroes today. We're gonna have Mama Tammye from season 2. We're gonna have Kathi Dooley, who is the director of music at my high school and someone who helped me through my whole musical career as a violinist in Quincy, Illinois. And then we're also going to have Angel from season 6 in Austin, who I love so much. These are 3 of the heroes that I just have impacted me. I think their episodes were so warm. And also I love all of our episodes. And if you guys are into this format and want me to interview other Queer Eye heroes, I kind of think this could be fun. So hopefully this won't be the last time that we have Queer Eye heroes. Maybe they'll come in person. Who knows? I'm not I'm not a teleprompter. Who says that? I'm not a fortune teller, but who knows? If you guys like this format, maybe we'll bring it back. So without further ado, as Kathi Dooley would say, because that is her signature trademark. And also, can I just say, and I'm so sad I didn't fucking say this to Kathi Dooley when we talked to her, but you guys, I got to film this scripted project a couple weeks ago, and I was blown away because this person who worked on this project, who was behind the scenes, she was a director. She has the same way of speaking that Kathi Dooley does when she's directing. And I so badly wanted to tell someone that, but there was no one else who knew Kathi Dooley on that set. So I couldn't tell someone oh my God, my musical director used to talk exactly like that. And it was so cute. So I've been dying to tell someone that. And I thought that'd be really fun for me to say it now. But without further ado, let's get to our first guest, who's going to be, we're going to go in chronological order of the series, Mama Tammye. Mama Tammye, welcome to Getting Better. How are you?
I'm doing great, sweetheart. Wonderful, blessed. How are you?
You look blessed because it looks like the light of Jesus is literally emanating from your soul through your face. You look like you contracted Benjamin Button's disease since you were on Queer Eye. You look like you're aging in reverse. You look, and just so do you know Benjamin Button, that movie? Like where that
Yes,
man, okay, just want to make sure you didn't think that was like actually a disease. It's like a disease of hotness, you know?
yes. well, well, thank you. It is the love. It's the love that keeps me young. It's the love that keeps me alive. And it's very needed. It's very needed in a time like this when hate is definitely the main course of the meal of the day. So anytime we get a chance to share that light and that love, let's do it. Because bottom line, love will beat the hate's tail every single time, baby. Trust me.
Where did you get this light from? I mean, is it your connection to faith? Is that where this just absolute radiant beauty comes from?
It's from relationship, baby. Everything is relationship. A lot of people get caught in religion, but religion is of man, relationship is of God. So the light that you see is from relationship. And, I look at it in the Christian faith. Jesus, that's what he came for. He came for the marginalized. He came to tear down the walls of religion and bring about relationship. And honey, people are still trying to build those walls.
Not you making me cry. And like that inspiration made me not cuss. Like I was like, no, I'm not gonna cuss. I'm gonna keep it clean for Mama Tammye because that is just you are so inspiring in every sense of the word. When I look back, so I think this is like one fun thing about Queer Eye that I think a lot of people don't know. We would shoot some of the seasons like together. So seasons like 1 and 2, we filmed together in Atlanta. So your episode in reality was episode 16 of 16 that we shot when we were back together. And I remember when we were leaving, the 5 of us like went, the showrunner of our show, Jen Lane, who you remember, she gave us like $40 and she was like, go to McDonald's. And we went to McDonald's and like got a bunch of like treats to like, cause we were like, oh my gosh, we just finished. But I remember that like at that time we were talking about you and your impact on the 5 of us, I think was probably one of the most profound. And it just was so special. And our relationship since our episode has been so close. I am always rooting for you. We're always like in the DMs talking. When I've been through it, when I've come to Atlanta since, I'm always in your DMs. Can you come see me? Can I send a car for you? I need to see you.
Yes. Yes.
And also, this is not what I was going to ask, but my intrusive thoughts are winning. How's Miles and Jessica?
Wonderful, wonderful. They send their love, flourishing, both of them. Miles, he's now working as I call it a forensic artist. And guess what? He actually works on the bodies. What he does is like people who have been really, they are deceased and who have really been just kind of torn up, and he puts it back together. And he said, Mama, he says, I'm just an artist.
Damn, Miles, he really talk about life changes since Queer Eye.
Yes, yes, yes.
Come on, but also that's like really important. Like that needs to happen like for their families and stuff. Like that's like such like, it's dark, but it's important. It's not dark. It's light. It's helpful. I would love him so much.
Yes, he said that's his love language.
That is so sweet. Come on, perspective.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. And let me tell you that show, since you mentioned the show, the episode, not just for us, not just for you guys, but when I tell you it resounded around the world, I cannot tell you I'm going to say thousands of messages that I received, even from parents who had abandoned their children. They wanted to go and find them. I'm serious. Religious establishments, they contacted me, wanted to use that episode for discipleship training. It changed their whole philosophy and thinking. Because bottom line, when you ask the question, what would Jesus do?
What's the name of your town? Was your town, it wasn't gay, was it? It was.
It's Gay, Georgia. Yes,
it was Gay, Georgia. I love that it was Gay, Georgia. So how is your community center in Gay, Georgia?
It's wonderful. And let me tell you the vision for that center. You remember when you guys came to my kitchen on the
Yes.
first day? And I was
Yes.
telling you guys, you asked me what was the vision for the center. And my response was that everyone who walks in that place feel loved. And let me tell you, they're coming by the droves. We have some the part-time things going on. We're trying to move into a full-time thing where we can just, open up to everybody. So that's what we're moving toward. But it's like a place that the children feel safe, community members feel safe. And it's one of those, you feel the love when you walk in the door. And when I tell you, and not only for like my family, my church and church family, but the community as a whole, that episode, when I tell you, I'm now Mama Tammye in the community, very strong advocacy. I have, it's just so many people who are broken. Sometimes we walk around with people every day and we don't know what they're going through, but the circumstances might be different, the stories might be different, but we all have a story. So it's been a place of like restoration and hope and love. And I'm just eternally grateful for you guys. You started something here.
How are you? Are you taking care? Like, what are you doing that's bringing you joy and is for Mama Tammye? Like, are you taking good care of yourself, honey?
Yes. And it's like I always describe to people, it's like the tow truck syndrome.
What's
The
that?
tow truck is always busy rescuing stranded motorists and, and bringing cars in and all, and just constantly busy. But what happens when the tow truck breaks down? And that's what I ask myself sometimes, I have to give myself some grace and some care because I know I'm a tow truck. And I suppose, what happens when the tow truck runs out of gas? What happens, when the tow truck breaks down? So as tow trucks, you have to constantly be fed. I surround myself with people who can feed, who are like-minded, who feed into my spirit. Also, so I take some time for myself every now and then.
Yes.
And some self-care, and I meditate, and I stay in the present. That's basically it. Because let me tell you this, baby, the past is a canceled check. The future is a promissory note. All we have today is cold, hard cash. Let's spend it, baby. Live in the moment.
God damn, Tammye, you were just like smacking me across the face with the truth bombs today. Okay, now I want to go back in time a little bit.
Yes.
What was it like for you watching your episode of Queer Eye for the first time? It was like June 2018, wasn't it? Like, what was it like for you? Like, because we had filmed it about like a year earlier, and then you see it for the first time. What was that experience like?
It was like an out of body experience. It was like, man, is that me? And even though like we taped the show, we were present the show, but I gained so many little nuggets after just looking at, and when I say nuggets, I'm talking about nuggets of truth, spiritual nuggets. I gained so much, and I was like, oh my gosh, it was almost unbelievable. And the way it happened, it was unbelievable because I had prayed about some things and just busy doing stuff. And when the show came to me and about the center and all that, I'm like, okay, God, I know this is the direction that you would have me to go. So, in just looking at it, and my first thought was, how will this impact the world? How would not only the world, how would this impact my community? How would this impact my family? And when I tell you, it has impacted, it's like people now, members of the LGBTQ plus community, people look at them as people now. Because let me tell you, mama's going to speak the truth. Mama's going to show the truth. Mama's going to radiate the truth. Mama's going to walk in the truth. So that was the thing. When I looked at that show, I just said, thank you, God, for using me as a vessel of change. Because that's what we need. We need vessels.
We do need vessels for change, and you are one. And I think you're like, If you are a tow truck, then you're like the most beautiful tow truck of all time. Like you're giving me like Bentley tow truck. You know what I mean? Like a really like luxurious tow truck. Yes. Yes. She's like a luxury model, honey. Like Hermes leathers on the inside and stuff. Like really like a luxury tow truck. We're both luxury tow trucks. That's not our fault.
We are. And you know what? The beauty radiates from the inside, baby. Because I used to tell my school children all the time, I said, beauty is skin deep, but ugly is clean through to the bone, honey. And you don't want to be ugly.
Tammye, I'm coming to Atlanta to perform my comedy. I got to see you when I'm there.
Yes, we got to. I got to love on you. I got to hug on you. And when I tell you I love you, you are in my heart. You are in my soul. I'm constantly thinking about you. You're mine, baby. I know you got a mama, but you got another one over here too in Gay, Georgia.
Okay, wait. I'm going to tell the boys that I said, or that you say hi. I'm going to give them your love because I'm going to see them next week. And I love you so much. And thanks for taking your time to come on Getting Better. And when I'm in Atlanta, I got to see you. And if you ever want to pop by New York to visit, I'm here.
You know what? If the door is open, I'm there.
We got a guest room, honey.
Yes,
we do have 5 cats and 3 dogs, so hopefully you're not allergic. And they do bark a little bit.
Oh no, baby, I got 4 dogs.
Oh yeah, I remember. Okay, you're ready. Okay, all right. Maybe we'll take Anthony to brunch and you can make him cry.
Yes, I will, and love on them too.
All right, I love you so much, Tammye. We'll see you soon.
Sweetheart, see you, baby. Bye-bye.
Thank you so much. Let's get real about something most of us never talk about. Intrusive thoughts. Those ones that show up out of nowhere and just won't go away. Not just, oops, I forgot my keys, but repeated, unwanted, distressing thoughts like safety, contamination, anything that keeps looping in your brain. For some people, these thoughts are so persistent and anxiety-driven that they take over their day, even when they know the thoughts don't reflect who they really are. That's not just stress. It can be OCD, and it's way more than being neat and organized. I personally have watched so many people I love struggle for years trying to make sense of thoughts that felt intrusive and totally out of left field. NOCD specializes in evidence-based ERP therapy, exposure and response prevention. Every NOCD therapist is trained in ERP. You can do it 100% online, and insurance can cover it for 155 million Americans. So Queen, if any of this sounds like you, visit nocd.com to book a free call and learn more about how they can help. That's nocd.com. Okay, was that not so fun? We love Tammye so much. She is icon of our lives. We love her so much. If you're not following and on her journey, please do, because she's just such a joy to observe. Okay, so now I'm gonna interview myself, which is interesting, and I haven't done it yet, but I just wanted to create a kind of a different intimate vibe. Queer Eye has been the cornerstone of my career for the last I started filming it in April of 2017, I believe. We've basically had a season come out every year since 2018. To 2024, or 2024, it's 2026. We've had a season come out every year from 2018 to 2026. And I just want to just take this moment to say thank you so much, because it is so not a typical thing to get a 10-season run on Netflix. And we could not have done it without you and the community that the show has exposed us to and exposed me to. It truly has been life-changing. And so if you're here after all these years, thank you so much. I love you so much. If this is your first time, welcome, Queen. We have a lot of fun around here. And now I'm going to interview myself, which is, how did season 10 feel unique? Well, season 10 was unique because we were in Washington, D.C., which we had never been in before. And I think in this climate, it was especially unique. And it was also unique because it was our last season and we knew it was going to be our last season. I think one moment that sticks out in my mind is when we all kind of found out that season 10 was going to be the last one. It was kind of a mixed bag, because I think that if Netflix would have said we really want to do a season 11, to be fully honest with you guys, I have been in a place where Queer Eye has been, it is so fun and it's so life-changing. Like what I was saying at the opening, it's also really hard on you. When you're married and you have 15,000 cats and dogs and you're living your life, it can start to be hard. And it's been a hard show to do and to sustain doing for such a long time. And I think there was really a sense of relief for me when I found out that season 10 was done, because I I would have kept doing it forever. I feel such a loyalty to our fans, and I feel such a loyalty to Netflix and to ITV and our crew that like I would have kept doing it forever. But I understand after having done it for these 10 years that can be kind of, or these last, 8 years, it can be unsustainable. And I do wish that the show could keep going in different iterations with like different Fab Fives, and we could have people come back and tap in and tap out. I think it could be so fun and intergenerational and amazing. I think I said that 19,000 times, you guys, but I have to get it out. But there was a sense of relief that season 10 was going to be our last one. And typically when we get to a new city, we like go and we do a photo shoot to like announce that we're there and filming has started. And I remember thinking like, how are we going to tell people that season 10 is our last season? And we were going to like talk about it, and we were like going to do something. And I remember we were shooting at the Washington, we were at the Washington Monument, like in Forrest Gump when like Jenny comes like running across. We were there and we were filming, and there was like a couple of people at the beginning, but then as we started filming these shots, like a lot more crowd started to amass. And I remember that this guy who's worked with Netflix, who we love, his name is, this person works with Netflix. I'm not going to like bust out their names, but this person works with Netflix. Remember, came over to us and like this crowd is gathering, and he was like, okay, well, someone has been scooped that this is going to be our last season. So the news is coming out tomorrow that this is the last season. And I remember just feeling this kind of like cold rush, which was weird because it was like July in Washington, D.C. and it was like 99 degrees and my blow dry was like actively frizzing out, like, every moment. And I was just looking at these people around and I was like, okay, this is kind of the moment. Because I think like when my show Getting Curious got canceled on Netflix, I remember being like, oh my God, like, is there going to be like a big like Hollywood Reporter, like this show is like canceled moment? Is it like, how's it going to be seen? And I think that's one thing that's been like so weird is like just having to be conscientious of like perception and how like a whole bunch of people are perceiving you at any given moment, because that's kind of what maintaining the brand, like that's a part of it. And so that moment happened like the first night that we were there, or the second night that we were there. And that was also this sense of relief that it was like, okay, it's not this like secret that I have to keep. Everyone knows, we're all on the same page. And that felt really good. Cause I think one thing that happens also on Queer Eye, it's like you film a season and it doesn't come out for a year, or you find something out kind of behind the scenes that you have to like keep in. And it's like the secret that you can't tell. And I hate that. So that was really nice to be able to just like be out with it. And that was kind of like a unique experience, knowing that we were going into something and that was going to be the end. Because typically you're always like kind of waiting on pins and needles to find out if you're renewed. And that's been like a rigmarole that I've been through for like all these years. So the certainty of that was actually kind of freeing and really nice. Honey, look at me interviewing myself. We are slaying. So enough about me. Now we're going to jump to season 4, episode 1, I believe, which was none other than Kathi Dooley, where we traveled from Kansas City to my hometown of Quincy, Illinois, and we went to my high school, which was, I feel like between that episode and between my book, Over the Top, I was like in a full vulnerability hangover for like a year. It was really, I did not even realize how hard and emotional that was going to be on me. And I still am like, and I'm so glad that that could be like cathartic for other people. And it was for me in some ways, but it was also just like challenging and interesting and more layered than Lisa Rinna Shag, which is very layered. But without any further ado, which I think is the 14th time I've said that today, my bad. Let's toss to our interview with Kathi Dooley. Kathi, thank you so much for taking your time today.
Oh, you are so, so welcome. I wish it was under better circumstances, but I'm in the Atlanta airport answering all your questions. And before we get going, Jonathan, like, congratulations on the 10 seasons.
Thank you.
Share our Quincy's love and everything with Karamo and Anthony and Tan and Jeremiah and everybody.
I will.
So proud of you. We only wish you could go forever and save like all kinds of towns and people, but all good things come to an end, I guess, right?
Yeah. I mean, it's been such a ride. And when I look back on the journey, our episode together stands out so much. I'm also so proud of your journey because that mullet has not returned. Your mullet was iconic. It was such a moment, but you have really embraced a new hair moment ever since. And I'm proud of you for sticking with that. So
thank you. Yeah, I needed probably that earth-shattering thing to happen in order to change that. Otherwise, I'd be still sitting with a mullet right now. So
one of my favorite things from our episode was how people were like, honey, Jonathan gave her the Patti LuPone. And we did get you were really giving Patti LuPone in your makeover, that little cropped do. But I love that you've gone longer. When you look back on our experience on your episode of Queer Eye, what is like one of the memories that stands out to you?
Getting to see you at home.
Aww.
You don't always, it's difficult in everything that you do and all your things that you're working on for you to be home. So it was really, really awesome to see your mom get to see you and all the people who you grew up with. They were all just really thrilled to see you at home. And then the series just showed off Quincy because we're sort of we're in the middle of nowhere. And so it was really awesome for this huge audience to get to see how wonderful Quincy is and the beautiful places. And then Quincy High School is a pretty neat place. And we've produced some great people. So, and
great musicals, thanks to you.
And great athletics and great cheerleaders. And
yes,
a lot of things really. So it was so, inspiring to have so many people be able to see little old Quincy on such an international stage.
One of my favorite things that I heard you say about it was getting to see so many young people especially, but get to see what a TV crew does and how many opportunities there kind of are that you would have never have seen. Because I think to see something different, it's you can't really imagine it unless you see it. And that really warmed my heart that hopefully that experience could give so many of those kids.
The crew, I could go on for hours about the crew. They're just amazing. And our high school kids, they're all a lot of the kids were in theater and different marching band and things like that. And so they noticed all the worker bees, and the worker bees were definitely your fabulous producers and directors and crew. They were just so awesome. And they said, oh, what are they all doing? I said, do they get paid for this? I remember a kid asked, I said, yes, these are their jobs. And I really just all throughout the whole week, kids' light bulbs came on going wow, I could do this. And I didn't even know that there were seamstresses that, did jobs like this, or makeup people or grips or all the Video Village people. That was really, really inspiring to a lot of people.
When you think about your experience on Queer Eye, I think so much of it was giving yourself permission to take a risk because you really put yourself out there.
Well, it's the journey. Every experience it's the journey, not the end product. And it was such an amazing journey. And I needed to have, being so in charge of everything and all those people and telling people always what to do and directing them, I really, really needed to have that jump start of, no, I wasn't allowed to talk or know what was going on. And it was really unsettling for me, but it's exactly what I needed.
It took you out of the driver's seat for once.
Absolutely right. And it was just really, to know that we had an LGBTQ, I didn't even know that we had an organization in the high school. And for those, to have some validation of wow, here's one of our own graduates. And then the producers and everyone met with their group. And it just brought, just even till today, guys, there are still people who are so, you just really, really sparked, in little old Quincy, Illinois. And before I get running off here, here's one of the best things that happened was, Jonathan, when you go to college, nobody in the world knows where Quincy, Illinois is. Yeah. No, but because we're for Gatonia. So one of the best things that happened, because remember, COVID happened right after our episode.
Yeah.
And so we went into this nightmare, but anyway, the kids, those kids who were in the episode, they went off to college, the seniors, and they called me and texted me and said, Kathi, guess what? I said I was from Quincy, Illinois, and I didn't have to say anything about Hannibal. They all knew where Quincy, Illinois was because Queer Eye fans.
That is so funny because we do always say that like Quincy is across the river from Hannibal, Missouri, the home of Mark Twain and Huckleberry Finn. We always are saying that as a marker.
And Casey Coxo, I didn't even have to mention, they all saw us on the Queer Eye episode, and they all knew. And we were kind of like, wow, whatever. And then some of the kids in our dorm actually watched the episode. And so to see how excited they were that they were from Quincy, Illinois, and people had heard of it before was really, really sort of that was probably one of my highlights, along with many, many other things. But
that's so cute, Kathi.
So proud of all 5 of you. And I always tell people they just don't understand how amazing each of your expertise are and how, you're really, really trained professionals.
I know you have to go, but my mom did tell me the other day that Quincy got a hot Pilates studio. So much has changed, yet so much remains the same. But I do think that fans are eager to know as you dash off to catch your flight, what's next for Kathi Dooley and where can people find you? What are you doing these days?
Oh, well, I retired from Quincy because the state of Illinois sort of says you got to leave after 45 years. But I'm teaching part-time at Blessed Sacrament. So I'm down when I teach music down there.
You can't keep Kathi Dooley away from music. I'm sorry. You love teaching.
Then I'm also, Adams County is having their bicentennial. We were founded in 1825, and I've been one of the chairmen of the Adams County Bicentennial. And we've had like too many things, too many events, too many things, but we're trying to wake up the members of Adams County to know how proud they are that like all these things, like the radio was invented there, the balloon was all these. Oh yes. Yeah. Parker Gates, he invented the radio in Quincy, Illinois. You wouldn't be on that microphone right now without Parker Gates.
You better tell him, Kathi Dooley.
But I got to really, really go. So
I know. Okay. So wait, everybody. We love you so much, Kathi. Her husband was my, literally my health teacher in 8th grade. Kathi, we love you so much. Thanks for taking your time. Catch your flight. We love you. Travel safe. We love you so much.
Thank you, Chris. Okay, bye-bye.
Is she not just such a riot? We love Kathi Dooley zooming in from the Atlanta airport. She is busy. She is sought after. She's got places to see. She's got people to see. She's got people to wait.
Places to go.
She's got places to go. She's got people to see. We love Kathi so much. I do want to change the shape of her fringe. We can't win them all, but the mullet's not back. So we win some, we lose some, and we love Kathi so much. And Jesus loves us too, is what my mom would say. Okay, confession, don't tell my dog trainer, but since the holidays, we have been just having those dogs up in the bed. We are on the couch. We are in snuggle season. Snuggle season is in session. We are Cuddle Central, and I'm not apologizing for it. And I realized that if we're in Cuddle Central Station, then our dog's food should match that energy too. Which is why we are back on our OLLIE game, because their meals are fresh, human grade, made with real ingredients, vet approved, and tailored to our dog's needs. The food smells like comfort food, and trust me, our dog lets us know every time. Your dog's well-being starts with their food, and that's why OLLIE delivers fresh, human-grade food that your dog will love. Head to ollie.com/better, tell them all about your pup, and use code BETTER for 60% off your welcome kit when you subscribe today. They even offer a happiness guarantee on your first box. 60% off? That's not even a typo. Get to ollie.com/better now. Let's keep interviewing myself, shall we? How has the world changed and how Queer Eye adapted? I think that is such a massive question. And it's like Queer Eye helped with like a non-gay community. Like it helped to humanize and to expose more people to like a not cisgender straight community. And at the same time, I've noticed like, and I think Jordan Firstman was just talking about this, and there's this other experience of kind of how like queer themed things can almost like splinter the queer community, and it makes some queer people feel like they really, really don't like it because they're like, well, these 5 don't speak for us. And I also think that that's part of why it could be really fun if Queer Eye could keep going with like different queers, different people. Like, let's get some like lesbians in there. Let's get some other people in there. Let's get some trans people in there. Let's get some like different ages in there so that we can like let the Fab Five like be more representative and inclusive of our community as a whole, which I think would be so cool and so fun. Throwing my hat in the ring to produce it if anyone wants me to. I'm so down. But I just think that that really could be like a beautiful moment for the queer community to keep seeing themselves in different people. And but I think that the whiplash that I have from how welcomed and accepted we were, and it kind of felt in 2018 and 19 to now, it feels really intense. And I think that I don't know really what to make of that yet. I really don't know what to make of that. It feels a little it feels a little heavy. It feels a little sad. Like I don't really want Queer Eye to have to be like leaving in a moment when I feel like actually these stories are more needed than ever. And also that's kind of how the cookie's crumbling this time. And I think one thing I've learned from my time on Queer Eye is that like I truly cannot control everything. And I think part of what the times when I look back that I was really overwhelmed and like not my best self, it's because I was trying to control so much, like trying to make sure that like a person, that our hero had such a good experience, try to make sure that this episode is as true to itself as it can be. And you can't control like who's going to show up and who's going to watch your show. You can't control how much other people are going to want to do something. Like you just have to kind of be in a place of acceptance. And I think being part of a team, it's like you can do your best, but you have to know like how to like where those edges start and stop. Like working with people, being a good team player. I've learned so much about that on Queer Eye. And I'm so proud of that because I was like I was a small business owner for my whole career. Like in all of my 20s, I was like in salons. I like worked for myself. I had a small salon studio. And when I think about like 2018 to now, I've launched a hair care company where I work with so many people. I think another interesting thing about Queer Eye is that like each time we went to a different city, we would have like a large portion of a different crew. So I've had the opportunity on Queer Eye to get to work with like hundreds of people in my times in these different cities. And being a part of a big team like that, I have learned like so much. I've learned how to not be overwhelmed. I've learned how to like ask for what I need up front. I've learned how to like really understand that when like you're not like a small business owner and now you're the host of a show, how you come across is so much more important. Like how to lead with kindness, how to like calm yourself down, how to like talk myself down when I am really, really overwhelmed and stressed out. Because at the end of the day, I am still a person. And I think that in some ways that's been like a weird kind of double-edged sword with Queer Eye is like, I am who I am on Queer Eye. And I talk about this a lot in my first book, Over the Top. Like who you see in me on Queer Eye is who I am. And also at the same time, that's not all of who I am because there's so much more to someone than what, and so basically what I'm saying here is that Queer Eye is like, that is like a highlight reel of all of like the best moments of myself and like the best moments of my personality. And so when someone only has ever seen you in your best moments, it can be really disorienting when they see you in a human moment. And I've had to learn as a human how to like diffuse that and how to express that and how to like know when I need to like take myself into a different room because I am like really overwhelmed and freaking out about something. I've also learned a lot about my neurodivergence and how ADHD shows up in my behaviors and my patterns and how I can manage that better. And really, I could not have done that without the patience and the love of my friends and my family and my team. And when I look at like just like the behind the scenes people from our crew, our showrunner, Jen Lane, David Collins, the creator of the show, everyone at Scout, everyone at ITV, all of our crew. I mean, we had two of the most amazing co-EPs, Rachel Mendez for the first 5 seasons. Then we had Lindsay for a few seasons towards the end. We've had such an incredible crew and people that have just given their absolute lives to the show behind the scenes. And I would not have been able to have learned how to be a better team player, how to be my best self on set without these people. And also my team, like I've been with the same endorsements agent since April of 2018. I've been with the same publicist since like 2019. I've just grown up with my teams and I'm just so grateful for their space and for their patience and for their love and for your guys' love. I feel like I've grown up on this podcast. I really have like accomplished my wildest dreams and also navigated some of my most scary things. There's a moment in the end of episode 2, season 10, that I think perfectly encapsulates how I feel about my experience on Queer Eye. And when I first saw it, I will tell you that I have never cried so hard. I want to cry now thinking about it. It's like at the end of each episode, like each one of us has this like moment to kind of like say what Queer Eye meant to us. And I was really tapped in when I did my moment. Let's talk about skin, shall we? If you know me, you know I am always on the road. I have been traveling up a storm and 2026 is no different. I got to tell you about a moisturizer and you're like, what, a moisturizer? It's 2020. Yes. a moisturizer. OneSkin has revolutionized my moisturizer and my skincare game. Their moisturizer and their serum has replaced so many layerings of so many other things. My skin is left feeling plump, hydrated, and juicy in a way that it has never felt with anything else that I have used. OneSkin works beneath the surface with their patented OS1 peptide, designed to target the root cellular drivers of aging. Born from over 10 years of longevity research, OneSkin's OS1 peptide is proven to target the cells that cause the visible signs of aging, helping you unlock your healthiest skin now and as you age. For a limited time, get up to 30% off your first 3 subscription orders with code JVN at oneskin.co/JVN. That's up to 30% off with code JVN. And after you purchase, please tell them we sent you, Queen. That being said, I want to talk to someone who has experienced that culture shift and has really been like on the precipice of this vibe so much throughout her time on Queer Eye. It's one of our heroes that I have like the closest relationship with. She was my trainer for years. She's someone who I love so much. Ladies and gentlemen and people listening, let's make some noise for Angel Flores.
I am so good. You really love buttering me up, baby.
I love you so much. I mean, I'm all over your socials. I feel like I'm the first story viewer. I'm like the first double clicker. I'm all over the socials. I love you so much. I don't know if everybody knows this, but Angel was like my trainer for years after our episode when we were both in Austin. Then Angel made like a gorgeous runaway diva and moved to Seattle. And then I was like, come back. But she was like, no, Queen, I'm moving to Seattle. And I was like, okay, great. And so seeing you flourish and kind of seeing you come into the fullness of who you are has been such an honor and such just a beautiful journey to witness. But I think as a hairdresser, like, our experience kind of taught me this lesson that I didn't even know that I needed to learn, which was that like I have this way of like imparting. And I think as a hairdresser, like that's this thing where you just like, you do what you do and you do what you know you have time for and like how to accomplish. And it's like a lot of pressure when you're on camera and you're like, okay, I only have like this much time and people are like breathing down your neck for like time. But I was like, I should have given her a different placement, like a different vibe, a different thing. And just seeing you own your style post Queer Eye has just been so amazing and humanizing. And I've loved your journey. But I feel like since our makeover, it really did make me listen more. Like I feel like I'm a better listener behind the chair than I was before we met. And I just want to thank you for that. It like makes me emotional.
No, I appreciate you. I honestly talk about you all the time, especially when it comes to my hair. Anytime anybody asks about my hair, I'm just like, well, you know, it's much different now that I don't have JVN just staring at me all the time. Like to look at me and be like, oh, well, did you do something different today? Did you honestly, like, I needed the boost every morning I got when I went to go see you and train you. I would walk in, you'd be like, did you do a blowout at 6 a.m. today? And I'm like, no.
How was it for you, like, to go back in time? I asked this so just so you know, in this episode, I had Kathi Dooley on. We had Mama Tammye on. I didn't get to ask Kathi because she was like busy in an airport, giving me like typical Kathi Dooley, like always late, always busy, like modern woman on the go, honey. But I asked Mama Tammye what it was like for her to watch her episode. What was it like for you to watch her episode? I know that because
oh my God, it's changed so much for me. Because the first time I saw it, I was like, okay, I wasn't cringing at all. Like I wasn't like, oh my God, like this is actually really cool. I was crying, you know, I was experiencing all the emotions again. I've only watched it 3 times. Once that first time, once at we did a little like viewing, like a little viewing party once back in Austin, and I've watched it once up here, and I think that was like a year and a half, almost 2 years ago, and I realized that like the only reason I have any sort of trouble watching it now is just because I'm looking at myself and being like, I'm such a baby.
Totally baby.
Oh, such a small little baby. And I've had people come up to me and ask me all sorts of questions and kind of like trying to interact with me a certain way. And I'm like, you realize that it's been years and I am a much different person now, you know, like I have grown and changed, and all like, of course you're growing and changed because of the show, but also growing and changed because I'm just growing up.
How has it been? I mean, because obviously we were in Texas together. I will say, like, I think of all of our heroes, I think you and I, or at least for me personally, like we had like, we saw each other like twice a week, like for like a year, like until you moved, like so close. And we both, I think, were in Texas in this time where like I came right when the pandemic happened because we started filming our season like right before the pandemic started. And then when the pandemic really kicked in, I remember Netflix saying like we could be filming like who knows? It could be a month, it could be 5 months, it could be never, it could be a year. And I remember like I just got into Austin with 4 cats and I didn't want to drive back to New York City. So I was like, I guess I'll just hang out here for a while. So, but when I first got to Austin, it felt more welcoming, even though it really was in this like, you know, very red state, but Austin did feel a little different. And I don't want to like rag on Austin because I still love Austin and it's an incredible community. It's an incredible city. And I think that the people that are there are doing their best. But I will say that like, and it was like around like when our episode came out, it wasn't us. It wasn't our, there was just like a cultural shift. But I do think that the chilling nature of what it felt like to be queer in Texas, it started to feel different. And I started noticing like my friends leaving one by one. And I started noticing like feeling like more stares and like less wanting to wear heels out to dinner in a way that I didn't feel when I first came to Austin. And that was a weird experience, kind of just observing that rightward lurch. And it felt like a slower crawl until it felt like a more aggressive swing. And now they've just done like that bathroom ban in Texas. And I think that like, you know, Governor Abbott has been, and the Republican state legislator there, I think has been really malicious in the way that they have. I was debating on whether or not I wanted to say like effective or malicious, but I think they've been very effective at carrying out their malicious campaign against queer and trans people and scapegoating people. And I do think they've done a really good job at like making people feel more unwelcome there. And I just wanted to ask you, like, what has it been like for you leaving Texas, going to Seattle? Do you feel better there? Do you feel like
when I first came to Seattle, it felt like I had time traveled like forward in the future because there are just trans people everywhere. And maybe like I live in a little bubble where we all feel kind of safe to be out and about. But just the idea of like in Texas and Austin, when I lived there, I wasn't going to the store and like seeing a trans person being like knowing the trans person at the register, you know, or like seeing other trans friends like in the aisles. But here it's like I'm walking down the street and I'm seeing friends, other trans folk, other queer folk. We have this like huge, like this like queer district, right, of Capitol Hill in Seattle. And it is so wonderful to just be able to see all my community out here, you know, to see all the faces and to feel comfortable like that. Like I tell people all the time that like the growth that I've had since the show is not only because of people like you, but also because I got to move to Seattle. And now I feel completely safe to be exactly who I need to be, you know? I have the space where in Austin, I don't think I would have ever grown to be the person I am today, right? Especially now. Like I haven't even gone back to Texas in 3 years. Like I haven't gone back because it's too much. It's too dangerous.
Tell me this is wrong, but if you are a trans person in this world and you feel like you have the means to like get away from a community that maybe is like really literally super not welcoming, it could allow you to like move more fully into the person that you are. Because
100%. I say it online all the time. Like that's one of the like something I would talk about all the time in my videos. It's just like if you have the means to get out, then get out. Like I am so. It almost feels negative when I say, but I'm so tired of seeing girls who are just stuck. You know, who are like I'm stuck in this tiny town and I have nowhere to go. And I'm like, look, we can. If you have the means, come here. PNW, go to Portland, go to Seattle, like come to one of these cities that is made for us, that has huge communities. Come make friends, come find community. If you can do it, then do it. You know, if we can find the means, if we can get you on a mutual aid fund, like let's do something about that. Like not to be like let's talk about it, honey, but you know what I mean. Like
no, but yeah, like come on, Mackenzie Bezos, that's what we need. We need like a gorgeous like relocation fund, like a safety, like
yes,
like almost like I don't know why everything has to come back to J-Lo enough for me. Like I need to go to like therapy for that, but we need like an enough fund for like trans people in unsafe spaces.
Yes. Like I've actually floated the idea around like a passively when I'm just like on the couch thinking about whatever the hell I'm thinking about. Like the idea of like just starting some sort of charity fund, some sort of like scholarship type fund to like get somebody out to help get people out here to safer places at least, like whether it be here or Portland or hell, like even somewhere in California or like rural Washington. Like if you just need to get out.
Honey, I am like, I was hanging out with a friend the other day and I was like, I simultaneously like look up to you and I'm also proud of you at the same time. And my friend was like, that's love. I love you so much. I'm in awe of you. I love your journey. I'm always rooting for you. And I just love you so much. And thanks for coming on Getting Better, honey.
Oh, no, of course. I love you too, baby. And thank you so much for having me.
How much do we love Angel? Okay, we love her so much. If you're not following her on social, you really are missing out. She's incredible. I learned so much from her. She does make me feel like Lindsay Lohan and I'm like Amy Poehler, but that's fine. Like I feel like she keeps me young. Okay, I got to know what's going on with the kids, with the queer kids. We love her so much. Now we're going to go back into me, Barbara Waltersing myself, which we love. I actually really do kind of love interviewing myself. I'm just not, it's not as natural. I haven't done it that much. So we're feeling this out together better, babes. One of the memories from season 10, of which there are many, like season 10 was such a bold moment. Like Washington, D.C. is beautiful. Mark and I got to live in Virginia while we were there. We had a cute backyard for all of the pets. The last few seasons of Queer Eye, from Austin and on, I always brought all my cats, all my dogs, and my husband. And that made me just feel so good. So I brought the whole crew with me to DC, and there were so many special, incredible moments. And to get to experience that with the five of us was beautiful. I think when I look back on the Jonathan that booked Queer Eye, that did that audition process, which we've talked about on the pod before, to the Jonathan that I am now, I am just, oh my God, I'm gonna cry. I'm just so profoundly grateful. I'm grateful for the knocks I took. I'm grateful for the successes that I had. But even more than that, I'm so grateful for the impact that Queer Eye, the positivity that Queer Eye brought to our fans and to the people that watched the show. And even saying like our fans makes me feel weird. Like after all of these years, like referring to myself as like a celebrity or like someone who has fans, that's like never felt natural to me. But really my biggest goal is I've only ever wanted to like allow people to love themselves more. And I think that Queer Eye really did that and continues to do that. And I hope these last 5 episodes do that for you guys. Yeah, what a journey, what a ride. And I just want to say, I'm not even getting off the ride. I'm just getting on a different roller coaster because that's what entertainment is. You get off one ride and you hopefully can get on another. And I have learned from this process that like I'm a comedian, storyteller, entrepreneur, multi-hyphenate in the style of like Reese Witherspoon or something, but I'm just HIV positive and genderqueer. We're all different. So I've learned so much about myself, and that really has been from your love and your community. So thank you so much for coming on this ride, and we'll see you next week. Because even though Queer Eye's over, I'm here for the foreseeable future. So I gotta say, I think this was kind of like a fun episode. Like it's kind of giving me Golden Girls like flashback vibes. I'm not sure, like, does this need to be something like on like The Office's 10th anniversary, like on special Queer Eye anniversaries, we do little like memories back in time and like have a few heroes on and just like talk about some of the fun things. Maybe that could be something we do on Getting Better. If you guys really like this moment, then maybe we can do that. Maybe we could have some heroes IRL. If you did love this moment, let me tell you that on Patreon, we did this really fun BTS of an episode from season 10 when we're on this fun boat. That's on the Patreon. Go over there. It's such a riot, if I do say so myself. But I would love to have more heroes on and do more on this. And I also think that like as I get more distance from the end of Queer Eye, I'll be able to have kind of more perspective. And this has all just been such like a whirlwind. I feel like in some ways I haven't stopped moving since like February of 2018. It's just been one thing after another. And so I'm kind of excited to see where creativity takes me and where time takes me. And I'm just so hopeful for my future. I'm so hopeful for everyone's future on Queer Eye, for our crew, for our cast. I'm just hopeful. And I think I'm also hopeful for our country. And despite reasons to be really concerned, which I am concerned, but I still do have this optimistic feeling of the future. And I hope that's not something that we look back on in like a black and white video of this. And then like you find out something really fucking sad happened. But I'm optimistic, bitch. Meanwhile, divas, we have an incredible guest next week on Getting Better, the icon himself, Chris Appleton, whose debut memoir is out, Your Roots Don't Define You, which is such a good title. We cannot wait to have him on the pod. We'll see you there.